And so Liz Plank was a perfect person for them to go after because first and foremost, if you don't know anything about her, I had never heard her name before this scandal. She's kind of branded herself as like the ultimate feminist.
Didn't know who she was. This was her first movie, and I was singled out as you treated her like a fan, and then I was dressed down afterwards, which could have been a career ender because when you're an intern, you're the most dispensable person on the project.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about my bump?
You've got two nice ones.
They are kind of bumps, right?
Conservative commentator Candace Owens has allegedly leaked a list of supposed victims linked to Hollywood actress Blake Lively. This revelation has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry, sparking questions about the nature of the allegations and the credibility of the claims. Owens, known for her controversial takes and deep dives into high-profile scandals, has hinted that the list contains names that could reveal hidden truths about Lively's past. As the story unfolds, the public is left wondering what has truly been uncovered and how this could impact Lively's career and reputation.
Liz Plank was the co-host of the Man Enough podcast alongside Justin Baldoni. And then, as soon as Blake Lively filed her complaint, Liz Plank was out. Instantly said she quit, a show of support and solidarity with Blake after everything dropped. And people began looking into it. And particularly there was this TikToker, Steph with the Deets, who had showed that perhaps the reason that motivated her to get on the side of Blake Lively without actually looking into anything, or at least speaking to her co-host and hearing his side of things, may have been what we have discovered since, a repeat sort of Ryan Reynolds psychopathic strategy of essentially love bombing people.
Now other footage is coming out of Blake Lively admitting, hey, when I get involved with projects, they hire me as the actress, and sometimes I don't really tell them, but I actually want to come in and I want to rewrite it, and I want to be a producer, and I want to do all of these things. She's literally admitted all of this blatantly. This is just the first time that it's ended up.
How old is Blake Lively, by the way?
30s, I believe.
34. How much longer do you think Ryan Reynolds takes around with her?
Did any of you guys see Deadpool Wolverine at all? Yeah, sorry. Do you remember the scene where he's nice Paul and he's saying like, oh, she bounced back right after her pregnancy. It's okay, I can say that I'm a feminist. They're literally mocking Justin Baldoni.
The downfall of Blake is super important because it represents our collective awakening, specifically to celebrities that we should not be idolizing. And they hate that.
So do you feel free now to try everything? What is the next 5 years? Well, if everything try,
You see the movie.
I did see the movie. But
We're going to give you a pop quiz.
They're going to be a pop quiz every minute of it.
Yeah.
In a Resurfaced 2009 interview with Glamour magazine, Blake Lively opened up about her initial hesitation toward working with Penn Badgley on the set of Gossip Girl. She revealed that upon hearing about Badgley's casting, she was initially upset and even tried to turn her fellow cast members against him. I actually poisoned the whole cast against him, Lively admitted. However, her opinion quickly changed as she got to know Badgley better, recognizing his genuine and charming nature. Within a week, she realized her misjudgment and completely shifted her perspective on him.
2009 Glamour UK interview by Blake Lively. And in her interview, she admitted to trying to poison the cast of Gossip Girl, which is where she made her name, against her co-star Penn Badgley, who played her love interest, Dan Humphrey, on the show. She said, at first I was so upset that they had hired him, I actually poisoned the whole cast against him. And she goes on to say, but then they noticed that he wasn't a jerk and was actually a nice, charming person, and almost immediately I realized it too. But it took me about a week to admit it. And here's the thing. Reports were that Blake Lively and Leighton Meester, who played best friends on that show, were not friends during the 6-season run of the show. Leighton Meester and Penn Badgley and other Gossip Girl co-stars have remained silent in the wake of the Baldoni legal drama. Neither Meester nor Badgley follow Lively on Instagram.
This shows proof positive, or you know what, potentially proof positive, that there is a history of her doing this type of behavior, going out of her way to talk ish, put out rumors, say bad things, say negative things about other co-stars, either because she just is in her feelings about that person, not happy about that person being in the show, or because she feels, I don't know, maybe because she just wants to start drama for the sake of starting drama. I don't know what it is, but clearly we're seeing the embryo stage, like the embryo stasis, or the embryo stage, the beginnings, right, of this whole thing to what it has flowered or blossomed into now.
However, Taylor Momsen, another Gossip Girl co-star, shared a different perspective, stating that she has no bad memories of Penn Badgley and never found him to be problematic. This raises questions about Lively's initial claims. Was she simply pushing her own narrative against him? If Momsen had no issues with Badgley, it's possible that Lively's stance was more about personal bias than any real wrongdoing on his part.
Wait, but I don't have any bad memories of you, so that's good.
Great.
So there you go. So there you go. I will leave it at that. No, I always had fun filming our scenes together, especially in the beginning. We worked a lot. Like we worked a lot together.
Yeah, actually, but you know, I mean, I'm almost like, by the end, we really didn't work together at all.
No,
we were always doing crazy.
Our storyline was off being a drug dealer and whatever else they were.
Jed Wallace, the owner of a crisis mitigation firm, has filed a defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively, claiming she falsely accused him of orchestrating an online smear campaign against her. Wallace alleges that these accusations have caused significant harm to his reputation. This countersuit adds another layer of complexity to the ongoing legal battles involving Lively and Baldoni.
I promise you, I've been trying to think of other things to talk about, but another day, another file. And this actually has to do with one of the most interesting aspects of this entire case. Blake Lively is now being sued by Jed Wallace of Street Relations Inc. He has said that she has cost him millions of dollars in reputational harm and is suing her for defamation. Lively's counsel released a statement saying that this is just someone else that's trying to sue her into oblivion for speaking out, and that they are confident that this will get dismissed, which I find that to be really interesting because this is someone that they alleged in her original complaint was really responsible or had a part in allegedly the whole astroturfing, because they alleged that Wallace was responsible for planting negative comments and a negative story, which Wallace has maintained that he had no part in any negative PR tactics against Lively, which it was interesting that her defense basically was like, oh, this is nothing, it'll get dismissed, yada, 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 because in her filings, they said that Wallace was the one who weaponized a digital army. I don't know if that's a direct quote, but basically that it was either real accounts or possibly bot farms. I don't really know. I probably need to read that again. But basically that was orchestrated by Wallace and, other members of Baldoni's team. Which, if I was naming someone who, had taken part in this, alleged astroturfing, I'd be like, yeah, see you in court. Can't wait to find out your method. I don't know. Maybe that's probably not the most professional response. It's just why I'm not a lawyer and I'm here on TikTok.
Blake. Lively's legal filings mention an incident in which she claims a man entered her room without permission while she was breastfeeding. However, conflicting reports suggest that she had actually granted him permission to enter. This discrepancy raises questions about the accuracy of the allegations and highlights the potential for misunderstandings, especially in high-stress situations.
Imagine for a second, you invite a man to your trailer, you're breastfeeding. You say, you can come in, but you gotta turn around. So he, knock, knock, I'm here. Come on in, turn around. He locks eyes with you. And the second it takes for him to turn around, and you add that to the lawsuit, Blake Lively, Gossip Girl, you must be stopped. That man was standing and staring at the wall, singing show tunes to himself for all we know, counting stars, counting specks of dust and paint, and you said that was sexual harassment. At this point, you gotta blame him, Ryan Reynolds. Say he wanted the idea for a movie. Say that he thought that it was gonna be a funny ha moment. You know how he jokes. Say we all know how he jokes because it's not working. You do enough.
Reports indicate that Blake Lively's alleged bullying behavior on the set of A Simple Favor contributed to a toxic work environment. Assistant director Barbara Seaman claims she was forced to resign due to the distress caused by Lively's conduct. As these accusations surface alongside other legal disputes, They raise serious concerns about Lively's professional ethics and treatment of colleagues.
Blake Lively was the reason an assistant director quit A Simple Favor, allegedly of course. And we learned this from Henry Golding's post. Henry Golding, who was in A Simple Favor, made a post with the poster for another Simple Favor, and under his post, Barbed Wire TV had commented, "I worked with you on the first one. My experience with everyone was absolutely amazing except for a certain someone who is the reason I quit being an AD. Guess who that person is? Wish you all the best with this though." And Barbed Wire TV went on to say, "I want to avoid attention around this, but I will say she was cruel to many. I know I cried my way home many nights because you try so hard to please someone who is never pleased and puts you down constantly. I can't believe it's actually getting back at her. Karma is real." And Barbed Wire TV, whose real name is Barbara Jaworski, definitely seems to work in like the production world. And for further proof, here's her IMDb. It seems to be under her maiden name. It says she's known for Barbed Wire TV, which obviously that's even her account name. Under projects, you'll see A Simple Favor. She was the 4th assistant director. So not only did we learn that she quit, but apparently she made many people cry behind the scenes.